guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Patty. I'm a competitive powerlifter, corporate girly, and content creator, and I am 1 week out. The purpose of signing up for this competition was really just to get more practice in a competitive environment. Doing reps in the gym is extremely different than doing reps in a competition environment. So first, let's get into what happens at a competition and what powerlifting looks like for anyone that might not know. Powerlifting is a sport that tests your strength in your squat, your bench, and your deadlift. For me, I've only ever competed in the 69 kilogram female open class. You could be the only person in your category. You could be competing against 20, 30 people in your category, but typically at local meets, it's up to 10. At my first meet, I think there was 5 girls in my category. At my second meet, there was 11, I wanna say, and I came in 4th place at both of those meets. It does very much depend on who shows up the day of and the strength gains that they've made since their last meet. There is an online resource called Open Powerlifting where you can see all the records of everyone that's competed in almost every federation across the world. So if you have a favorite social media influencer that's a retired powerlifter, you can actually go back and see all of their records from their meets. And if you're curious to look mine up, this is my Open Powerlifting page. So what actually happens at the competition? We start with squats, then we go into bench, and then deadlifts are last, and you would have 3 attempts to get the lift that you want. Many people have different strategies. So one strategy is going 9 for 9. Going 9 for 9 just means getting all 9 of your attempts. So getting all 3 of your benches, all 3 of your squats, all 3 of your deadlifts. And for some people, this is a good strategy in competition so that they can perform under pressure. But a lot of times going 9 for 9 is a little bit limiting because you're probably going to choose weights that are a little bit easier for you to accomplish. And you might be pushing yourself a little less and you're comfortable in the powerlifting environment. A better strategy is to just go for the highest total because your placing is determined by the total amount of weight that you lifted that day. Your heaviest squat plus your heaviest bench plus your heaviest deadlift added together make up your total. Another thing that you should know, judges. There are 3 judges that sit in front of the weight podium. And every time you complete a lift, the judges will either give you a white light or a red light. You need at least 2 white lights for the lift to be counted. And ultimately you have 3 attempts, right? So even if you have the weight, but you screwed something up technically, as long as it's not your final attempt, you can go back and try it again. The role of the judges is also to call the commands. For every lift, there are specific commands that you have to abide by. To sum it up, it is actually quite simple. For the squat, the judges will call squat, you'll come back up, and then you have to stop with the bar once you've fully completed the lift. They'll tell you rack, and then the spotters will help you rack the weight. For bench, you would unrack the weight, pause it with your arms locked out. The judges would tell you start, you would start the movement, and then once you've stopped on your chest, they would say press, and then you would press the movement, and then once you hold it up with your arms locked again, they would say rack. The hardest part about the bench is obviously the pausing because they need to see that the weight has fully stopped on your chest before they're gonna give you the press command. If you jump this command, you're probably gonna get a red light. That's what happened to me in my first meet. And lastly, for your deadlift, this is the easiest one. There is no starting command for the deadlift. You walk up to the platform once the bar is loaded, you deadlift the weight up, you just have to hold it up until they tell you down. But you do have to hold on to it the full way down. If you drop the bar, that's another error. Anybody can sign up for a local meet. You have to get a membership to the Canadian Powerlifting Union. That's the Canadian branch of the IPF. If you're a member with the union, you can register for any local meet and just show up on the day and lift whatever you want. So now what everybody wants to know, Patty, what are your goals for this competition so that everyone can track and see if I accomplish them? My first competition was in November of 2023. Then my second competition was in March of this year. At my second meet, I was able to get my regional and provincial qualifier, which is awesome. That will be in 2025. And I figured just for my own practice and because I love training and I love competing, I wanted to sign up for another local meet to get a little bit more practice. So currently, these are my competition PRs. And these are my gym PRs. My goals are to really start strong with this meet and contribute as much to my total as possible through my squat. 275 was the goal that I had planned for myself this year, and having accomplished it in the gym is massive, but accomplishing it in a competition environment would be even cooler. For me, when I make my vision boards every year, I always add a stretch goal on top of what I really actually want to accomplish. Even though I have like a goal in my head, I will put a higher number on there. So I think I had put, what did I put on there? Yeah, I put 295 on there, which is a stretch goal and is honestly not even that far from 275, but I basically want to start at the high end of what I've accomplished in competition so that if I get that first one, which the plan is obviously always to get your opener, whatever jumps we take will depend on the day and how I'm feeling, but would just be awesome to get as close to my gym PR as possible. For my bench, I honestly don't really have any crazy goals. And also lately, I'll be honest, like I haven't been doing a great job with keeping my butt on the bench, which is really weird. I've never had that issue for the previous 2 competitions. A mental block right now that I end up lifting and using too much leg drive. But when I attempt my opener today, that's going to be my focus, is just keeping that on the bench. I currently have a decently competitive deadlift. It's a lot of volume training your legs the amount that I do, and so I haven't been necessarily pushing my deadlift. As I accomplished 330 at my last meet, I honestly would be happy just getting this number and a little bit above. Like if we can get 345, 350, that would be sick. I haven't touched those numbers, right? So it's literally just gonna depend on if my adrenaline is enough on the day to get me there. I'm just trying to really front load my numbers on the competition. The more I can contribute to my total in the early half of the day, the less I'm gonna have to be anxious about the bottom half because my deadlift is already decently competitive. At the end of the day, guys, you literally never know, right? Like I'm talking and telling you guys all this. Maybe my competitors are watching this video and making a plan based off of everything I just overshared. But my coach, who will be there at the day of and will be handling me, handling is the term we use in powerlifting for that, he will have to make those decisions based off of seeing how the leaderboard is looking as the competition's going down. Anyway, that's all, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that this was a little informative or helpful. If you are ever interested in trying powerlifting, please subscribe and continue to watch my videos or send me a message on Instagram. As for what's next, my plan is to film the entire meet. Obviously, this is the first meet that I've been doing YouTube for, so I will be bringing my camera around. I will be vlogging it as much as possible, and after the meet is over, I will absolutely do a meet recap to let you guys know how it went. Thanks again for tuning in, and please wish me all the best luck for Saturday. Bye, guys.